Today I'm going to do a review on my CYMA CMO 35 AKM. This is a 1:1 scale replica of the Avomat Kalashnikov modern something. The M stands for modernized, but it's in Russian and I cannot pronounce the word. But yeah, it is not an AK-47. There's a big difference between an AKM and an AK-47, and I will explain it later. But as you can see, this rifle is aesthetically pleasing. It looks awesome. You know, the stock is made of ABS plastic, which has realistic wood grain paint or something on it, but it looks like wood, but it's not. And it gets scratched up, but it's not like you're worrying about scratching up your wood stock or anything. The gun, it was $150 at Airsoft Megastore. Advertised to shoot at 450 FPS, and this thing is a hard hitter. Man, this thing's a hard hitter. At one point my friends had banned me from playing with it because it hits too hard, and they just didn't want to be shot with it anymore, so I wasn't allowed to use it for a little while, and then they bought more powerful guns, and this thing still is a mad hard hitter. It comes with that 600 round magazine. It's Balkalite style magazine, made of ABS plastic or some sort of density polymer, but 600 rounds, wind up, normal high cap style magazine, and it's really all you need. You don't need anything more fancy than that. It will take mid caps, it will take an RPK mag, it will take a drum magazine, but the one that comes with it is fine. It's good stock. It comes with one I think it's 9.5 volt battery. I'm not sure about the battery specs, but it's a huge battery, and it's actually crammed into the stock to the point where I don't want to take it out because it's really difficult to get in there, and the battery just works great with the gun. This thing is so powerful that when you shoot it, the gearbox actually shakes the entire gun, and you can feel it like shaking when you're shooting it. It's pretty intense. Has semi-auto and full auto and safety, like any normal AK. Safety's up top when the lever is pushed all the way up. Full auto is what you can see it set on right now, and semi-auto is all the way at the bottom, because AKs were designed to be machine guns first and rifles second, so full auto is first. And I had done burlap on the front end of this thing, and it looks pretty cool. Some fake ivy, some green twine, and some cut burlap strips. And this gun actually looks pretty great. Those sights you've seen before that are strangely on there do not come with the gun. Let's see if I can get the rear sight. You can kind of tell it's different. They are East German glow-in-the-dark night sights, which don't work because they were soaked in cosmoline for like 30 years. But still look pretty good. And they actually raised my sight picture to the point where this thing shoots even more accurately with those night sights on than it does without them, and I'm really surprised about that. And they're easier to see too. A lot easier to see. The pistol grip is a very comfortable Russian sandy feeling good grip. I mean, it's made of good plastic. It gets a little bit wobbly, so you have to tighten the screw in the bottom every once in a while, but it's really nice. The trigger is all metal. Nearly the entire gun is metal, aside from all the ABS plastic parts and all that stuff. The bayonet lugs, I had modified them so they accept the Yugoslavian AK bayonet. I have the bayonet somewhere else, I can't find it right now, but normally these lugs do not fit an AK bayonet. They need to be filed down and shrunk because they are 0.0307, around there, a little too big for the bayonet to just slide on and click in. So that's not 1:1 scale part, but with a little modification you can fit a real bayonet on there, which I wouldn't recommend bringing to an airsoft firefight because nobody wants to get stabbed playing airsoft. And the receiver is based off the AKM stamped style steel receiver, even though this receiver is obviously cast out of pot metal. You can actually even see some dimples in there where the cast was pried off. The receiver looks milled, actually. It looks like a milled receiver AK receiver, but the magazine dimple, which you can see right there above the magazine, that style is for stamped receiver AKs. On milled receiver AKs, it's that flat rectangle carved into the receiver. And yeah, For optics, this AK accepts any Russian-style AK optics. My rail's all worn out because I've taken and put on like 3 different scopes. I actually had a real SVD scope on here for a short period of time. I had a cheap Crossman scope with the special rail mount, which I bought from Airsoft Megastore when I bought this gun for $20. The mount was $20. The gun was $150. And yeah, it's held in there by 3 hex screws. And it even has the realistic cutouts for the trigger pin, hammer pin, and full auto sear pin, starting from right to left, like on the real AK. So if you want to actually totally disassemble the real AK, you'd have to take out those pins. The magazine release works well. It holds in normal AK paddle style magazine release with that slave pin in there, and the magazine piece is held in by hex screws. See, the front sling mount has actually been holding up really well. I thought it would break off because it's made of pod metal or something, but it's actually holding on really well. This sling was actually from an old gas mask bag I had gotten, and it works really well with this AK. And the rear stock sling mount, let me turn the rifle for you, is, you know, simple, bottom of the stock. When you hang this gun on you with the sling, it will hang upside down because of the sling mount. It will not hang right side up, or if it does hang sideways, it's really comfortable. And alright, for the power supply and ammunition portion of this video, the AK comes with one 9.5 something battery. Huge battery. It takes up the entire stock. It's in the stock. You just pop that down, push it down on it, and it just pops right off. It's stock plate. For ammunition, really simple. You can load this thing with .20s. Even though it does have a tight bore barrel, which is integrated with the gun, comes with it. You can load it with .20s. If you want, for more accuracy, since the gun is 450 FPS, and has a tight bore barrel, you can put .25s in it, and that actually makes this gun lethally accurate in airsoft battles. I mean, I've outshot my brother with his sniper rifle at like 200 feet with this gun because I loaded with .25s. Ridiculously accurate. To adjust the hop-up on this gun, you take the safety off, and then you pull the bolt, do a mock bolt carrier back, and you'll see they have a little scale for the amount of hop-up, and then there will be this lever right here, which you move back and forward, forward and backwards. I already have it set actually to a certain hop-up for my gun, but it's really quick and really simple, and you can adjust it in the field. Like if you're in the middle of a firefight and your hop-up isn't high enough, you can just pull out the bolt and move it a little, and shoot until where you need to hit. Or if it's too high, you lower it, and just whatever. Yeah, it's great, quick and convenient. I'm going to do a 10-foot power test with the CYMA AKM on semi-auto. See how much damage it will do to these cans at 10 feet. Goes right through them. See, full auto. carnage is evident. Now you can tell that this is not a nice gun. This was at 10 feet, which is the minimum safe shot range for most airsoft fields. 10 feet, it cuts this can nearly in half. It's crazy. I mean, if I got a couple more shots off, all I had to do is remove this piece of aluminum and that thing would fall apart. It's crazy. I believe it actually shot through the bottom of the can, this hard aluminum piece. If you ever try and take a can and crush the bottom, it just won't crush, and the bullet just went right through it at 10 feet. So with this gun, I would give it a 15 to 20 foot minimum engagement, because any closer than that, you're really going to draw blood. I mean, this guy with his half and half lemonade would be crying right now, considering he just got sawed in half. And yeah, that's a quick look at the power of this gun. Pretty mad. Really quickly, just to finish off this review because I'm running out of time. The CYMA CMO 360 RPK. AKM is a great gun. Extremely powerful. Has a nice high-powered battery, high rate of fire. Holds battery really well, lasts hours, well worth $150 at Airsoft Megastore. They might have actually raised the price, I'm not sure, but it is really worth every penny. I've been using this gun for about a year now. Pretty long time for an airsoft gun. Most of my guns just die after a couple months of use, but this thing's held up so far. Couple malfunctions, but nothing that ain't fixable. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Some things just have to be done at point blank. There we go. Ah, sweet justice. And I ran out of battery. Perfect timing.